Hello and welcome to my video of the day. My good name is Kamanja and this is actually my channel. This is your home. This is where you are supposed to be. So first and foremost, may I take this opportunity to actually thank all my returning viewers, my good supporters. It's a very big time to give you a very good shout out wherever you are. Even though you're my good supporter, you are my ardent person. You are my most loved people in the streets. Yeah, Mama Janet Harris, Elaine, wherever you are, Maureen Maki, wherever you are. Rose Green, Papa Christopher the General, all the way from Toronto, Canada. Guys, Jacqueline Fedner, thank you very much. Congratulations for actually finding your time always to come back to my videos, watch and leave those sweet, encouraging comments. That is how I can put it today, guys. That is how I can put it today. No, guys, for those new subscribers, feel most welcome. This is your home. This is where you're supposed to be. And actually, you've been missing much. But I want to tell you, as much as you're here, you are not going to get disappointed. This is the real place you're supposed to be. Real enjoyment, get real facts. Yeah, very proper discussions and everything as we move forward. And actually, remember, I'm doing this right away from the village of Nyabohanse, East Africa, Kenya. This is where I'm doing my thing from. And, you know, this is where actually I talk from and I talk for. So that is it. And anything, most of the time that I bring onto these platforms is all about Nyabohanse. It's all about Nyabohanse. So I don't give out information while I'm biased or with a lot of prejudice and everything. I always give out correct information on what is actually happening, like the updates and everything. So today I have a very good, interesting topic, guys. As you can see from the thumbnail to the title, I have a very great discussion to actually discuss with you. And before I actually start it, be ready. As you watch your space, get seated, relax, watch this, and let me know about your reaction down there in the comment section. What am I supposed to like? What do you feel about this story? Because these stories, yes, they are interesting, but to the other side, they are very laughable. They put the village on a different gear. And that is why I say no. Because you are my good supporters, because you are the people who are going to actually consume this information, may I know what you might be knowing that I don't know about all these updates I'm giving you. Yeah, you might be having so many, because I'm not the only person who is bringing this to these streets. Maybe others are bringing the same information with the different versions. But may I know what is actually happening on the ground? Yeah, guys, today we've seen so much happening from last week. And I really don't want to I don't want to preempt things. I don't want to jump on things, and that's why I always take my time, watch things and do this and like. But there is this one story that has caught me. Passy's story. Everybody know about Passy in this village. Everybody knows who is Passy, because I do believe you all guys who are watching this, you know Passy in and out of Passy. You know Passy. So there is another story that is coming, very disturbing story, because it's disturbing because for me, I'm not even looking at Passy, I'm looking at the kids. I'm looking at the children. Now that's why I'm calling this a shattered home. Is Passy's home becoming shattered? Is Passy's home becoming abandoned? Is Passy abandoning his kids? And if yes, why is she doing this? What is wrong with the Passy? Or do I say that all these allegations that we are hearing, all these stories that we have been hearing, are true? So guys, keep on tuned in, keep on locked in, because I'm going to be bringing you live direct. Because I said yesterday I was in that village. I just went there to see one of my friends there, and it happened that I was told so much about the village and everything. So I'm going to be discussing about Passy. Yes, I'm gonna be. Remember, I talked about Passy the other time, and she came at me very wild and everything, but I told her, no, stop. We are trying to bring you. We are trying to make you look like somebody. We are trying to make you respectable. That's why we make videos about you. You know, when we make videos about you, we don't come here to provoke you to come for us. We don't come. We don't make it so that you also become wild. When somebody makes a video about you, more so something that is touching you, you're supposed to take your time, you go sit, reflect. Then maybe if it was something wrong that was said about you and you need to correct, that is now now this content gonna be your turning point. Like, yes, these guys have helped me. So we don't get biased when we get when we are getting you this information. We don't boast, we don't just thumb. We are only here to give you the correct information. Get me correct. So much of my story will be on Paci. Yeah, I'll be talking about Paci. But before that, actually, before Paci's story, there is a very big looming war in the village. And now this war is shifting from the known to the unknown, or from the specialists to the more specialized places. Yeah, the people are now becoming specialized in terms of attacks, in terms of insults, in terms of, yeah, everybody's looking for his niche. That is what we are supposed to know. Everybody is looking for his niche. Like when we are here in these streets, people, like, we're here, we are looking for subscribers, we are looking for views, we are looking for money at the end of the day, because that is the main product at the end of the day. But before we get viewers, before we get subscribers, we are supposed to convince them that actually I need you, and kindly be my fan, be my supporter all this time. We are not supposed to use situations that are happening in the village to gain fame or to gain such elements like views and subscribers. We are all fighting. Others are fighting for monetization. Others are also fighting for views. People want to enrich their pockets. People want to expand their pockets with money at the end of the month. You know, we were only paid the other day. Others were paid big checks. Others were paid small checks. Okay? It it depends on what you've been doing, but we get satisfied that actually at the end of the day we are paid. That is what I want to tell you. Now, when I'm talking about the new fight in the village, we have another alliance, a new alliance in the village. And this alliance is coming. This alliance is coming up after what we saw happening in the court. Remember, Gintu was filming in the court. He used somebody to go and film in the court, something that is actually against the Kenyan law. We have things that happen inside there, and you can go to even some buildings, you can go to some offices, you will find some posters like you are not supposed to post anything, no posters, no cameras in, no this, because what is supposed to happen inside there is supposed to be left there. So that is another thing that actually Gintu has done a mistake. He went there, and actually we don't know how he accessed the proceedings because he ran away. But I want to guess that that was the first mention, that before the break, that is when he went there with the camera, or he might have sneaked the camera using somebody else. But I know after the break, this guy ran away. He ran for his dear life. Now, from that point, that was the first time I came to across Chris the Great's videos, or Chris the Great's channel. And I was like watching this guy. And when I was watching him, I felt like this guy is not a reactor. But from the video he was making, he was reacting to so many things. So I actually affirmed myself. I actually justified myself that no, Chris the Great is a reactor, but actually he doesn't want to tell people that he is actually reacting. And if he's a reactor, it's just a one-sided reactor because he is only talking towards one direction, that is Marwa and the family. Chris the Great and Gintu is the new alliance. And I want to tell you, that is another new alliance, an alliance that wants to trouble Marwa, an alliance that wants to bring a lot of trouble towards Marwa's end. I'm talking this not just because I know, but I'm telling you because I can see how things are happening, and I can tell you the truth. Chris the Great and Gintu are now becoming a big alliance, are now drumming up. They are now beating drums for war against Marwa. Now, I don't mean physical war like guns, everything, no. Now, this is, you know, the war I'm talking about in these streets. But before that, before I even talk about Chris the Great, and I give you a brief history about Chris the Great. The court proceedings, what happened during the mentioning and everything, because I told you I was to go back and get some information on what actually transpired. Yes, they were given dates for hearing, court hearings, and nobody won the case. Let me tell you, the case was not won. So nobody like should come here and say, you know, we won because these guys never expected this, because we haven't, the case is not hard yet. But you know, the only advice that they were given before that day, if they can handle the case back here at home between the two families, it is going to sound better. But I am seeing people coming out led by Chris the Great, people celebrating like, you know, we had a lawyer, people never expected this and that. But let me tell you, actually, from the horse mouth, the people who are arrested, that father, Matiko, and the son and the daughter, this guy are claiming a lot of, they have some historical problems with Marwa's family. Because me, I talked to the man himself. For me, I never wanted like to record him and come and start like telling people, oh, this. No. But I told him, I'm asking you this because at one point I might go and report. He told me that actually they used to be together. The Ondaris and Matikos used to be together. And as you can see, and I want to tell you, yeah, I've told you, I want to tell you the truth. You know, the person who was arrested is Murimi's uncle, direct uncle. Mogesi's direct uncle. Chris the Great's direct uncle. You know, oh, that is a very big family. But this family of Matiko behaves very differently from the rest of the brothers. Or Matiko behaves differently from the rest of the brothers. Number one, this Matiko uh, is a church goer. He is withstanding. He has a good family. He is not alcoholic and everything. But when I was asking him about the beef between him and the Undaris, he told me something historical. It is something historical. Let me leave it there. It is something historical. Like at one point, Maro wanted to buy land from him and he denied. He went there, sent Gitiriba, and actually this guy denied. And I want to tell you, this guy has never sold the land in that place. He has never sold the land. And now, for him, he feels like that refusal, for him to refuse not to sell land to Marwa, or they wanted to purchase land for Gitiriba, that place, and this guy like turned them down. That might be where the beef where the beef began from, because at one point he says that Ondari used his home as a store when he was building, and even showed me that place where actually Ondari used as a store at one point, meaning these guys were close friends. They were very close friends. But when I was asking, what if, like, what is now happening? And this guy told me point blank, this thing of YouTube is what is bringing problems, because his sons, now the stepsons like Mogesis and Nestos, Chris the Great, these are the guys who are fueling this animosity. These are the guys who are now becoming the big parties, because for him, he doesn't understand. He has sons, but these sons are not YouTubers. They don't actually, they don't indulge themselves in YouTubing. And he has tried to distance himself, but most of the time, he is dragged by the likes of these sons like Anesto, Mogesi, we have Chris the Great, and others like Gintu. That is what actually he came up and said, like, all this is being triggered by these guys. And I asked him, why do you let these guys actually use you? Like, why do they actually have to use you, like steer you, like do this and this? He told me about that road, that passage. Actually, that is his plot, because if he can decide, and he's told me he is going to make it very narrow so that the lorries cannot actually pass through there. And very much congratulations to Dee and Marwa, because for him, he had sensed something of the sort, like that place was going to be blocked. He has tried, he has gone ahead, and he is purchasing another place where they can use as a passage to this construction site. But this guy actually assured me that he was going to close down that place and leave a very narrow passage for even for the motorbikes only, because he is feeling much like these guys are disrespecting him. But he is not. He is not with the bad blood. That is what he told me. But the YouTubers, he told me that the YouTubers, now that one includes the sons, Mogesi and Nesto. We call it Chacha. This is Murimi, Chris the Great. Those are guys who are escalating this thing. Himself, he hasn't gone to go and call for, I don't know, the meeting for the chief and everything so that they can come and make things right. This is Chris the Great's initiative plus Gintu. And that's why I'm telling you, Gintu and Chris are now trying to come out and start like troubling Marwa. Now we are expecting new fights in these streets. We are expecting new drama in these streets, because now, they have come to realize that, how Gintu is, he knows how to use people. They have come to realize that Aneso and Mogesi, they cannot help them now, because these guys, they are not even well programmed. They don't know what to air, and they don't know what to live. But for them, they feel like if they come up and drum together, this is Gintu and Chris the Great, they are going to bring Marwa down. Because I've come across a video by actually Chris the Great. He was fencing the land. Actually, that is it. He was fencing the land. They really don't want anything to do with Marwas. They really don't want anything to do with Marwas. And for them, Marwa has it. That is why they are looking down upon them. Marwa, Dee, all this family has it. Like, they are well. And now they are feeling that wealthiness, or what they have, their well-being, is what is making them to look down upon them. But for me, when I try to look at Marwa, when I try to look at Dee, at David Jr., maybe that is a very negative perception, a very negative conception on them. But the truth, these guys look good. These guys, hawana madharau. Yeah, like, they don't look like people can just like look down upon others just because you don't have, or just because they have. No. I'm not agreeing with Chris the Great. But for Chris the Great, he has come out and said so much that, this is time him and Gintu, they are going to come up and tell people what actually happened during the party, what actually is happening in the village, how Marwa is actually behaving, what actually happened to Rocio. You see, and this is one guy who is saying he's not a reactor. Guys, let us agree, and let us be like, if you want to swim in a given pool, just go and swim. Like, don't just come here and say like, oh yes, what you really wanted are subscribers. And I know, I've been watching and I've been reading the comments in his channel or in his videos. Like, most of his subscribers are coming from Gintu's end, and these are the subscribers who are actually pumping him, telling him, do this, do that. And actually, Chris has declared war and told Marwa he has so much to settle with him, because Marwa, he said that Marwa went there and threatened to actually do what? To arrest him. Me, I don't know. And even Marwa has not come out and said that I'm going to arrest Chris the Great. Why? You know, Chris the Great, these are Marwa's neighbors. In fact, they are Marwa's neighbors from the other side. You see, this is Marwa's home, Chris the Great from the other side. Because this Matiko was arrested on the left side of his home is where Chris the Great comes from. Because I know, and one of his brothers, Maurice, actually was a very close friend to Marwa. So, and that's why in the other video I was talking about, we have so many big and many loopholes of information from Marwa's villa. That's why these guys keep on threatening him and telling him that we know what we are doing. Like this story of Rosho. Chris the Great is claiming that actually Gitiriba is very close to Rosho, and Gitiriba always talks to Rosho all this time that Rosho has gone silent. And Gitiriba is just becoming a puppet because, you know, and Marwa is letting in Gitiriba because Gitiriba knows much about Marwa, and Marwa cannot like afford losing somebody like Gitiriba. Those are stories that are coming up. Those are stories that are coming up. But before they come up, I want to make this aware to you that when they come up, actually, know how you are going to judge them. Because these are guys, they are looking for their niche. And you know, Marwa is now becoming their niche. This family, anything that is happening there is becoming their niche. And they are going to capitalize on it and talk about it every day, every time they actually switch on their cameras. That is what they are going to talk about. Marwa from A, Marwa to Z. And I want to tell you this, the truth. Because as I've been looking at, like, what really is happening between these two, the families? It's not this Matiko issue, actually. Because this Matiko issue has brought up other issues. Like, we never knew about Chris the Great, that Chris the Great has got grudges with Marwa. We never knew. But Chris has come out and said, no, we have unsettled scores with Marwa. And because Marwa has called for the shots, I am going to do it bit by bit, every now, every day. Because he is now claiming that all these stories that reactors are talking about Russia and everything, they are not even talking. They are not even near to what he knows. So he is going to tell people in his next video what really transpired. And he's saying that he gets the information direct from the villa. Because, you know, there is nothing that happens there and he doesn't know. And, you know, the person is talking about, somebody who might be bringing up this information, is Murimi. And I told you, they have been saying, and I even told you, the person, the uncle of Murimi, was arrested and arraigned in court, also told to me that, this Murimi, they don't know when Murimi talks right, correct, or wrong. Because Murimi actually, he has not gone there to ask for forgiveness, but in court, Murimi was actually crying. That, you know, he told the wife to Matiko that, you know, I don't want this thing. These guys are pushing me. And today I'm hearing something very nasty for Chris the Great. And actually, this shows that he has actually opened new, he has actually started drumming up for a new war. That Mrimi told his brother, the eldest brother, that, you know, these guys are witches. These guys bewitch people. These guys use charms on people. Guys, you know, that is not proper for somebody like Chris the Great, who, yes, I like the way he articulates things. He puts out his arguments. But the truth is, he is another Peter Saul. He is another bitter soul. He actually doesn't like what is happening on the Dimwangos, what is happening on Marwa. Because, you know, these were classmates. And I once told you last year that why most of these youths are against Marwa. Most of them were classmates. Most of them were schoolmates. They used to graze together. They used to do everything together. But from nowhere, they are saying that only God picked Marwa and left them to stardom. And that is why these guys are always very bitter. That, you know, this guy is supposed to be, or actually struggling like us in this village. He's not supposed to be having so much because we also don't have. That is why I guess. Because even Chris is saying that, oh, this is Dimwango. Dimwango went to Nyabirongo when I was seeing her. Dimwango used to be very like this and that. Now, Dimwango, just because of money, she is chest thumping and doing everything, you know. Those are things that when you listen to them, you actually come to a conclusion that, you know what, these guys are super jealousy. Yeah, you know what? These guys are super haters. These guys are bitter. For it, they are bitter. And if you might even ask Gintu what happened between you and Marwa and the family, Gintu has nothing. Gintu will tell you that I'm doing, this is content I'm doing. They are very busy looking for loopholes. And I've told you, they're even ready to pay people to go into the villa and pick up information and transfer that information to the outside world so that they can use the information against Marwa and others. That's why I was calling for Marwa to actually look and check so that he can close down all the loopholes that he may think that are like snitching out or taking out the information from their family. Me, I said, and I want to talk it point blank, that the people are surrounding Marwa. The people are calling Marwa friend. The people who are like Marwa home, those are guys who actually are being contracted. They are spies. Marwa must be living with the spies within him. He must not trust every Tom, Dick, and Harry. He must tread carefully because now this war that has, you don't know what Chris is going to talk about. Like he's saying that he is going to revisit those old stories. And you know, when in this village, when such old stories are revisited, they become like they are very new. People think these are new stories. And the world is going to be like, oh, Chris the Great, you are doing well. Oh, Chris the Great, thank you. Now, Chris the Great is becoming second after Gintu. He has now decided to torment this family. He is now decided. And you know, the two guys, Chris the Great and Gintu, are joining up again with Mzee Kohera. Kohera Senior actually came out and said, oh, you know what, Marwa, like in his suggestion, like after putting all the blames on Mama Marwa, that is Madam Esther and Dee Mwango, Marwa's sister, blaming them for actually making Rosho to disappear or to go away from the villa. Like these guys made life unbearable for Rosho in or at the villa. That's why Rosho had to leave. Up to now, we really don't know. Like, see, we are just insinuating, we are speculating that Rosho is in Nairobi. Others are speculating Rosho is already in Argentina. But you know, she can be in Argentina when she has actually contracted malaria. That means she is within. Let us leave it there because I've talked about that story. But now, Miss Mzee Kohera has come out and told her, oh, you know, that is how people get curses. That is how people are cursed. Marwa, you've never responded to me. As much as I've been coming here to cry about you. Oh, son, I'm here. Oh, son, see your father. You've never come and actually, you've never recognized me as your father. And I wish that if this Maisha goes, so that at one point you will also become like me. You will also cry for that son of yours who will also enjoying life with another man who is not you. You know, those are things that people wish for Marwa. Imagine this old guy wishing Marwa, a very young boy, somebody of 36, 37 years, wishing him all that. Is that not cursing? He is actually cursing Marwa. For Marwa, just because Marwa stood for himself, just because Marwa has decided to lock his ears from Kohera Senior's statements and everything. He has decided to give Kohera Senior a deaf ear. And that is why Kohera is very bitter. And you can see Kohera is very bitter at Madam Esther, that is Congress mom. Kohera is very bitter at Dee Mwango. He has never gone, like, there is no rhyming between Dee Mwango and Kohera Senior because I really don't know. Maybe Kohera Senior is, maybe, you don't know. You know, in this community, people keep on marrying and doing everything and you won't know. I don't want like, guys, you know what I'm talking about. Because me, I've never seen an old granny like Kohera Senior becoming too bitter on a young lady who is about 27, 30 years. Like, you are very much bitter just because this lady is building at home, doing this and that. No. Kohera, have you never seen such a person in your life? That is what I always ask. Like, why can't you leave others live their way? Why can't you leave them? Like, yes, you've come out and declared, yeah, it's a curse. But I want to tell you, those curses are past. They cannot do. And I want to tell you that there is, if, let me tell you now, if actually Rocio and Marwa separates, this want to be making history that, you know, the first man from Africa to separate with a white woman was Marwa. It won't go down to history. And he is not going to be the first man to separate with his wife. But I want to assure you, even if they separate, Kohera, even if they separate, Marwa doesn't look somebody like you. Why am I saying so? Huh? Marwa doesn't look like he's somebody who is going to abandon Maisha. Marwa doesn't look like somebody who is now not going to take care of Maisha or leave alone his responsibilities, like of becoming a father. This guy has shown, and he has proved to the world that he's a real father. So never should you think that those things are going to be going to that direction that you're actually dreaming of, Mr. Kohera. I've told you, all those haters, and I want to tell you the truth. Like, Maro want to becoming the first to separate. And even Roshi want to be becoming the first woman on this earth to separate with a man. The only thing that we are supposed to be talking about here is like, yes, Rosho is sick. Quick recovery to Rosho. We have not, like, let us wait for Rosho to come out and say, no, I was done this, and I was done this, and I was done this. How long did it take Lenny, that is, I don't know, Lenny Weiss, to come out and talk about Vin Vincent, how he used to actually mistreat her? It has taken a long time. But people knew about this. But for Maro and Rocio, guys, don't drum up so much. Don't talk about things that you actually don't know. Because you have proved that you are only looking for drama, you are only looking for views, and that is why you want to make this story look bigger and very special in a given way. And that, for me, let me stop there, because I don't want like to talk about somebody's family, because I'm not part and I can't like, no, I don't talk about families here. I'm here to give you what is happening. Yeah. Now, my main story now. My main story, guys. Like, I was talking about Paci. And you know Paci? Everybody in these streets know who is Paci. As much as Gintu is trying to put it and bring it out, telling people that, you know, people who destroyed Paci's life, the Marwa who brought Paci, some supporters who wanted to control her or like support her with a lot of restrictions. That is why Paci is actually crying out there, crying. That is why Paci's life is like, no. Guys, Paci called for the shots. Paci played her cards poorly. He never played the cards correctly. And that's why Paci might be there crying. And again, maybe this is another way to scam people. This is another way to activate donations. This is another way to actually resuscitate Paci and bring her back to this platform. But for now, actually, let us look at Paci closely. Let us actually look at Paci very, very closely. Yeah, I'm saying let us actually look at her very closely. Yeah.
On my mom's home. Actually, we are in my mom's home. Yeah. I'm so happy to meet you here on my mom's home. Yeah, on that point, let me go back to the village again. Why did you decide to leave the village and you are now venturing into this kind of their portfolio? Where you
my
are
good
right
family.
Now? Yeah, you
welcome
know what?
back.
I was just living
And
at home
guys, as we speak this, as we are doing this, if you haven't subscribed and if you are very new here, guys, leave a very sweet comment there.
move from home
Subscribe to my
and
channel
go and
Share
find the
me,
job.
I'll tell a friend to tell another
Yeah,
friend,
the job.
and that is the only way you can make money, bro.
You're talking about
Guys,
some small
and
problems. So
for
which
my
kind
good
of the
supporters, I
problems
still
can
give
make
you a
you
very
to
big
get
shout
out? So
out.
I was just having
Hey, we have
the balance
Tontan
of plumber.
grandpa, Jamaican
Yeah, the
uncle,
plumber
all
has
those
just
guys from Jamaica,
built for me the
Carol West,
kitchen, and I was
all
having that
of my good
balance, you
supporters,
see,
people who
with
don't
his
like miss me
materials.
out.
So I'm
Thank
supposed
you
to
very
be
much.
the
Doreen
plumber,
Small,
there
I'm
was
not
man, you
even
see.
like
Oh,
forgetting you
Angel.
because you're
Angel
always in my
is with
lips.
the
That is
Fraha.
it.
I have
Welcome.
another girl who I live
Now,
with
my
the
good
flat
guys, that
home.
is Passy.
But I'm the one
It's true,
telling what
Passy
Fraha
is
can
not
eat and
living
my
in
kids,
his home,
and
in
just
her home.
talking with them in the phone and
Passy is not
sending
living in her home.
some food to money to
Passy is now
Fraha to get
operating
food.
from our maternal home. We have a lot of allegations on Passy. Others are alleging that Passy is pregnant, though she has actually denied. We don't know. We don't know. She might be pregnant because she's single. You don't like, she's single and she has also feelings, guys. If she wants, if she might be, she might feel like she wants to be knocked and everything. That is it. And we cannot deny. Actually, we can't. We cannot deny that. We cannot deny that. So for Passy, what we are supposed to know, Joseph, what we are supposed to know that Passy, the truth, she doesn't operate from her home. She is now operating from her maternal home. That is why even where they are talking from now, with Gintu from, that is her mother's home. So she has actually decided to abandon her house. She has decided to abandon her family. She has decided to abandon her lovely children and actually decided to go on her way. Just imagine, this is Passy. This is a woman that people came out to actually support. This is somebody, this is Passy who was the queen at that time. She was at the top of everywhere. Now, what might be wrong with this lady? What has touched me, like Passy living away from her children, surely. Passy is living away from her children. Why? Is this karma, or actually this is what Passy called for? Why should you actually leave? Why should you abandon your children? Like you tell me, you let your kids, like a family shattered, you live somewhere and you send your kids food at home for somebody to take care of them. What is the distance from Sirari here to Passy's village, where you can operate on a daily basis? But why is Passy not spending time in his home? Like people came out, Turbo Vanilla, where are you? They came out, started a very good project for Passy. There is a very big house. Guys, there is no crime if you decide to live in that house. And you know, construction doesn't, you cannot complete construction at once. It is something gradual and it's always continuous. Today, like I do this room, I do that room and everything. But for Passy to abandon his home, to go back to her mother's home without the children and leaving back to the children to the neighbors. Like Chacha, we've been seeing Chacha with in Marwa's compound every now and then. Chacha is there very dirty always. No mother to take care. You know, with the children, they need mothers. Yeah, they need mothers. They need a motherly figure with them. Somebody, because mothers are caring. Mothers are very responsible. Mothers know what their children need. But what is wrong with the person? Where actually, what is wrong with her? Leaving out your children on the cold, you are going to live there. And you know, that only creates a very big room for people to suspect that actually you are either married to another man, of which me, I don't see any problem. I don't object, because even the Bible says you are young. You are not supposed to be tied, because actually your husband left us. Your husband is late. But when you do it, then you can consider the children you have. If you are actually married, that person who is marrying you should actually take on with the kids, because those children are part and parcel of your life. But for you, going to stay alone at your mother's home or going to stay alone at your business premises home, it raises so many questions. And actually, these questions, they get open answers that is true. This woman is married. This woman has abandoned the children. This woman doesn't care about the children. Now, what do you think will not make us think that it is true that you are putting this house? People helped you, donations came through and erected you a house, and you want to put this house on sale. You are busy looking for somebody to buy that house. Guys, just because this was not your effort, it was somebody's effort. That's why you want to abandon it. And the way even you are saying that, I cannot sell that house because that house is a gift to my children. Yes, I may not live in that house, but my children might live there. That means that you are not ready to go back to that family. You are not going there. But you coming out and starting cheating people that, I'm running away because of debts. I'm running away because creditors are on my neck. People want me to pay them and I don't have money. The plumber is there, wants some 30,000 US dollars that I have not settled him. Guys, me, I doubt that story. Me, I find no truth in that story about she is a big debtor. Like, she's a big debtor, like she has a lot of debts and everywhere, and that's why she's running away, because people have said they want to arrest him. They want to arrest her so that she can settle the bills. No, I want to challenge her that, yeah, let them get you arrested so that in court you actually decide when to pay them, because you cannot pay them if you don't have. But I want to tell my good family that this is a platform. These are Judases. Gintu is a Judas. Passy is also another Judas. This is a platform they are making to ask for money from people. Yeah, they just made that platform so that Paci, people can again start sympathizing with the Paci. Paci running away just because of death. How much? Can I send you this? And I want to tell Paci that this time people have learned who you are. People have known what you mean. So anytime you come here, people will never take you serious. More so when you are seated with the Gintu, because people will never see you serious. They know you are just making content. You are just looking for money. Yes, you vanishing away from the YouTube streets. You've said you've been repairing your phone, but now you are tired. But remember, you actually opened a channel for your son, Emmanuel. Something that you are supposed to use even that phone of Emmanuel to actually post to keep on your life in these streets. Don't come out and try to cheat people that this is happening because of this. These blame games is what we don't want. Living a very beautiful home like that, Passy, it's uncalled for. You are not supposed to do that. Stop. Go back to your family. All those guys who bought you, I used to hear in your live chats like, oh, we are going to buy you flowers and everything. Now they are nowhere to be seen. Your home is becoming a museum, guys. And you are there just laughing, saying, oh, this can happen. No. People have known you. People have known your body language. They know what you are going to speak next. They know what you are going to do next. And I want to assure you, nobody is going to come up and pay those debts for you, because they know what you are up to. People have known what you are up to. People have known what you and Gintu are up to. That is why you see people, even your own people, the people who used to support you. Now, where is Kavan Mochachi? Where is Kemi Klaus? Kemi Klaus, where are you, Kemi Klaus? Your queen is here crying. The queen is crying. Actually, Passy is out crying that, people will arrest me, I have not paid this. She has a business, a running business. She wants also to leave that business, because she's saying that business, she's getting chest problems, because she's inhaling a lot of I don't know what, and she had a problem. But before you started that, you knew you had a problem. You've been cooking these chapatis from your house, not on a daily basis, but you are used to fire. Now, when did you came to realize that this is now causing the chest pains and everything? Guys, do you think that these streets is full of people that are easily lied to? These streets is full of fools. No. We have people think correctly in these streets. And that's why people are up to you and telling you, Paci, come up. Be a real. If you went wrong somewhere, come and say, no, guys, forgive me. I've done this, and I think this one is enough for me. People are going to forgive you. But the more you keep on aligning yourself with Gintu, aligning, you want to become at the center. You want to become the center of every drama. You are the epicenter of every drama in the village. They are using you for views. Then they're actually using you to know, so that you can also realize that you are fake and you are faking things. And nobody's now going to sympathize with you, because the more pathetic conditions you try to fake to people so that they sympathize with you, the more they tend to know you. But think about the children, Passy. Think about your boys. Think about your girls, that beautiful angel of yours. Think about you being a mother, where you decided to become a mother. Go back to your children. Take care of your children. If it is sleeping on empty stomach, just go. But make sure that you are with your children together. Don't be cheated, because all these dramas won't end. The more you actually let yourself to be at the center of every drama, the more you let yourself to be used by the likes of Gintu, that is when you decided like you were dead from these streets. But being a mother, I feel being a parent, you are alive. The father is not there. Why should you abandon these kids? Why should you come up with a decision to sell your house, even if you never built that house with your own money, even if it is people who came and contributed for you? Guys, is that the way you are supposed to pay them back? No. Think twice. Think twice. Do something. It's not yet late. Me, I'm not here. The only thing that is making me bitter is you living away from your children. The children that God gave you. You don't want to take care of them. And you see, now I take this time to actually blame the subscribers. And I've been talking to the subscribers every now and then. Don't cheat these people in the village that you're going to be standing there for them all through. Because you don't know tomorrow. Because you actually don't understand these guys in the village. Today is your friend. Tomorrow somebody has snitched her or snitched him. Then you drop that friendship. Any project that you had started for him or for her, it stops there. Now you see, Kemi Klaus went. Kavan Mochache went. Turbo Vanille went silent. And you know, now Paci is stranded. These are all subscribers. But you never came, sat with the Paci, told her on how to fight for herself. And that's why always I give thanks and I give thumbs up for the mother who is actually supporting GAT Africa, Gintu's Enstretched wife. She's trying to make her realize on how she can defend herself in the future. She's not supposed to be depending 100% to donations. She should be working towards her own future. And that is where you guys failed. You was feeding Paci on a silver platter. You are feeding her like a kid. You are feeding her using a big spoon. And now when you withdrew that spoon from Paci, Paci cannot reach the food. Paci cannot reach that heaven you used to give her. Now Paci is stranded. Paci is thinking about so many things. What if Paci thinks about committing suicide? Because now life for her, she has a lot of problems. And she's not even ready to open up for those problems. Guys, subscribers, guys, just if you want to subscribe to us, if you want to support us, I always say, now support me and actually tell me what I'm expecting from you. Me, I will never object. But that 100% becoming dependent on a subscriber, somebody I've never seen. Somebody will just talk like, oh, I'm going to build a very good house. And I always ask, what if this person dies? What if our friendship dies? What will happen to that project? Guys, give me the power to roll out myself, but don't give me that urge. Don't give me a fake heaven that when you are gone, I will go back to hell. No. Guys, feel free to support us. Like that is it. I've talked so much today, and I think, guys, people are going to gain so much from what I've talked to you. And let us make this time, let us interact. Feel free to interact. My number is a public number. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm right, and God is going to actually bless you. So from this side, I want to leave you, and I want to say thank you very much for actually being there for me. Watch the video from the start to the end, guys. Let me know what you feel about what I've been talking about, and where I'm supposed to correct. What I really don't know, kindly be free to share with me anything about what I have left out. Till then, guys, I want to leave you here. Till we meet again. Goodbye. Goodbye. Kwaheri sana.